may I request that Reverend Francis give first the opening prayer and the blessing of the food, because I understand some of us here have problems with our sugar and etc. So we might as well partake the food first, courtesy of CPU alumni and CPU Corporation. Both the CPU Corporation and the CPU Alumni Association, so that we can partake of the food and then we start the program proper, if it's all right with you.
Magatindog kita tanan kag magapangamuyo. Ginoo, dako ang amon kalipay kag kasadya bangod gintipon mo kami sa sini nga duog sa pagsaulog kag pagpasidungog sa isa ka tawo, isa ka sentralyan, isa ka Ilonggo. Salamat sang kabuhi ni Atty. Muzones nga naghatag sa amon sang dako nga inspirasyon sa pagpadayon sa amon pagpangalagad sa amon nga mga katawhan kag sa mga amon isig katawo. Salamat nga sa sini nga tion o Dios, makaambit kami sang bugay nga imo gid pasagahay sa amon tubangan. Salamat sa mga kamot nga naghanda sini. Salamat nga sa sini nga tion makadeklarar kami sa imo kaayo katutom kag kaluoy sa amon tanan. Updi kami o Dios sa amon nga pag-inupdanay sa sini nga latok kagabay nga ang imo nga ngalan madayaw bangod sa ang imo inimuan sa amon mga kabuhi. Hinabalik namon ang kadayawan sa imo gid ngalan sa ngalan ni Kristo Jesus nga amon manluluwas. Amen.
So please proceed to the buffet table so that we can partake of our lunch. May I request Attorney Rex to lead the guest in i-serve na lang. Oh, okay, thank you. So you don't need to go to the table. Okay. Those at the second row, please proceed to the buffet table. Ma'am, excuse me, there is a front. Okay lang. Just wait for a while. In behalf of Engineer Isagani Halbuena, the president of incumbent president of the CPU Alumni Association Incorporated, we have requested another equally able alumni executive in the person of Attorney Joshua Alim to give us the welcome remarks.
Salamat. I should not say retired prosecutor, but a member of the Board of Trustees of CPU Alumni Association Incorporated. To the family, to the son, relatives of Manong Ramon Muzones, and to Dr. Naba, thank you so much. And sa ngalan sang presidente sang CPU Alumni Association Incorporated, abi-abi namon kamo nagikan sa kaibuturan sang amon tagipusoon nga nagkari kamo kag nagtambong sa pagpasidungog sang isa kaupod naton sa Central Philippine University. Siya naggraduar balanta naman 1952 sa CPU College of Law. According to Dean Sack, mga pulo gid sila ang naggraduar. But madamo siguro sa aton ang wala nakahibalo nga si Atty. Ramon Muzones nag-umpisa man sa manubo nga pagpangabuhi. Si Toto Rex nga iya anak nga maalaman nga abogado upod sang iya maanyag nga asawa. Salamat gid sa inyo pagtambong. But wala man siguro kabalong iban nga si Atty. Ramon Muzones nangin konsyal sang aton syudad. Kadamo gido from 1963 to 1971. That is why sang pagkapatay niya sang August 17, right? 1992, ang syudad sang Iloilo pinaagi sa ordinansa number 00-121 sa tuig 2000. Konsyal na ako sadto. Nagpasar kami sa September 6, 2000. Ginakilala siya as outstanding Ilonggo. Kagin pasidonggan ina sang syudad sang Iloilo. Kag nakay balubala kamo ngang General Youth Street, inang dalan pakadto sa Port San Pedro, that's General Youth. Ang iban nag-pronounce na as Hodges, but it is pronounced as Youths, American. Mayuds man na si Mr. Hodges to, amot yung damo-damo. Damo di. To Rex, no, damo property na di. I think si Atty. Rex, isa sa mga abogado sa Hodges Estate. Sa General Youths. That's American name. So ginislan ina, pinagi sa ordinansa sang syudad, nga ako katapon at that time, as Ramon Muzones Street. Dugay na, Oo. Just like this, amo na yung problema. Like, ang Snart, sino kakilala kay Snart? Ginislan ina sang Fermin Karam Avenue. Wala, no? So, including the Haro Plaza was named as Lopez Haina Park. Ang Aribalo Plaza, ginpenganlan nga Abansinya, Justice Abansinya Park. Ang Hall of Justice was named after the name of the Chief Justice Abansinya also. That's how in the city council, that the city government, how we treasure our heritage and culture. Si Atty. Ramon, dokit sangga reporter pa ako sa Bumbukil, tanay kami ni sa Provincial Capitol, masyad sang una. Siya nagpundar sinisang the original Sumakwilan. Ginawa ko kahambang do Sumakwilan man ako, budlay na bala, mga madalom, mga matinaga, sang iligay nun, budlay gid sambiton. But he founder isla kag siling ka ginasako ni Prosecutor Bunat, si Atty. Ramon is the original Aquaman. And to margo sa tubig, sa lagunting. Ya, nako na sa kay diya, basi daging kupya, blasang si Marvel, blas, si Mars Rabelo, daging pa ang sa lagunting. Sang gamay, sang bataon pa ako, nagabasa na ako sang yuhom kag hiligay nun. Kag pamilyar inang mga sa lagunting, inang tamblot kag tanan. So naghatag bugal sa aton, gindeklara na ni siya, of course, a national artist, sang no less than our president. Kag bugal sang CPU Corporation, kag CPU Alumni Association, kag CPU College of Law, nga naka-producer kita sang national artist in the person of Sir Atty. Ramon Muzones. Sa kabataan, si Rex, tumanawag ko kag sa pamilya, sa inyo si Dr. Nava, thank you. Nganing very important instrument ikaw sa pag-translate natin ka nakalabot sa dapat malabutan. We're very proud of you. The Muzones family, we're very proud of you. And tanan nga nagtambong mainit kapag abi-abi sa inyo tanan. Kag congratulations sa pamilya. Madamo gid nga salamat.
I'm tempted to speak also in the Hiligaynon. Because actually, the only difference between my boss and Atty. Ramon Muzones is that Atty. Ramon remained a handsome fellow because he retained his hair. My boss, Conrado Norada, forgot to comb his hair or started failing to comb his hair, I think right after their graduation in the College of Law. But he graduated, of course, in UI, although they were already very close friends. So that's why I'm very familiar with Ty Ramon. We have two Ty Ramons actually, Ty Ramon Dorimdes and Ty Ramon Muzones. So every time they see each other in the capital, I'm always present. That's why my heart is closest also to, not only to Ty Ramon, but also to Rex. Just the same, I did not mention this earlier because I thought Attorney Alim will or Kagawad Alim will be mentioning this, no? Sabi ko gani mga kampanya na siya. Anyway, I would like to acknowledge first the presence of Vice President Joniel Howard Gico. Di na siya, Of course, we have here the chairman of the Board of Trustees and former CPU AAI President, Attorney Von Lovell Bidona. The older version of Bon, Attorney Sac Bidona, Dean, College of Law. Because, you know, if I tell you that Bon is handsome, I cannot afford to say that Sir Sac is more handsome simply because he is my senior. No? So the safest term is older version of a handsome Bon. Of course, my idol, balang ko hindi ako niya idol, Dr. Agustin A. Pulido, former CPU president and former former Silliman University president. We have also Mr. and Mrs. Giveses, no? Giveses, guest of the Muzones family. And then, of course, the members of the CPO Corporation who are around. Kadamo sa aton din, no? Kamo gali lang, kamo. Sorry. Of course, ang much appreciated is the Department of languages, abi ko linguistics, languages, mass communication, and humanities. No, may I request those faculty members, of course, as well as the OIC, to please stand so that you can be recognized. No, yeah. Of course, Attorney Rex is here with his beautiful wife, Nang Gloria. And before I forget, ang ever smiling kong landlady, my foster mom here in CPU, Ma'am Evangelica Padernilla. No. Daw amo lang ni ang okasyon nga nagkit-anay kami, nga happy kami nga duha. Kay kada kit-anay namon, may mga patay, may mga kung ano-ano. This is the only happy occasion we had in the past 30 years nga wala na ko di sa CPU. No? By the way, before I forget, no, I have to prolong this ceremony for the consumption of the faculty. No? Kanotice ka mo when Attorney Joshua Alim said in Bisayan all those things, ang mga binisaya nga mga halambalanon, no? Remind me karon nga ihambalon ko na sa inyo because you should be inspired by what Dr. Nava is doing, no? Perhaps you too can carry on the torch by studying further this beautiful language we call Hiligaynon. Ha? So, karon tala niya istoryahan, ha? Exclusive. So, to proceed, my dear fellow Centralians, we will have now Dr. Cecil Locsin Nava to orient us on the order of the National Artist Award for Literature conferred on Attorney Ramon Larupay Muzones.
Good afternoon, everyone. Daw nahambal ko naman ang tanan ko inugambal. Abot ano pa nga wala ko na mensyonan. The Order of the National Artist actually was instituted in 1972. And the first one to receive the earliest award was actually from Western Visayas. Was from Panay. This is opera singer Jovita Fuentes of Capiz. Okay? And 26 years after, a second one from Panay received the Order of the National Artist. This was J. Elizalde Navarro of Antique. Iloilo had to wait 20 years before it could get one of its own. And this is Ramon Muzones in 2018. So, knowing the history of the Order of the National Artist, which is really the highest award that an artist can aspire for in the Philippines, and this cuts across all 7 arts. So you have painting or visual arts, then you have architecture. Bobby Manyosa, who won it last year, just passed away. Bago lang siya napatay. Okay? I was fond of telling or joking to my friends who keep asking me, "Tidi na ya imo writer?" Kaya nagdaog na. And I tell them, he died waiting for it. Because I discovered him in 1985. And when I discovered him, the more I read about him, the more I read him, the more I was convinced he was national artist material. And so I told my mentor, Dr. Bienvenido Lumbera, who was one of the national artists who was shown on the screen. Kasiling ko, iniya, winner giniya, manog national artist giniya. By then, he was still alive, 1985, when I first met him. And he said, hindi na magdaog. Nga man, sino kabati na saya? Who is he? As a matter of fact, when I first floated the idea that I was going to work on him for my dissertation, for my Philippine Studies program, PhD, everybody was discouraging me. Why man na asa kabati sa iya? Sino na siya ya? Nobody has heard of him. Who is he? And I said, I've never heard of him. My mentor told me, and I said, you will. And 32 years after, he did, because he was one of those who voted for Muzones to become national artist. But it took 32 hard years of campaigning and translating and writing articles about him so that he would be known. Because, like it or not, the power rests in Manila. Manila is the center of power. We may talk about federalism and the devolution of power and all that, but the hard reality is, it is Manila that rules. We call it Manila cultural imperialism. And I have carried this fight against Manila cultural imperialism for years. Why? Because I am convinced that the vernacular writer is as good as the writer in English and in Filipino. And no one showed more devotion to the Hiligaynon language, not just to Hiligaynon literature, but to the Hiligaynon language, than Muzones, who believed that Hiligaynon is more expressive, is more nuanced, is superior to the national language. Because ang point niya, this is a very interesting point. The first time we met, he asked me, Namely, I had to pass the test before he would apply. He would agree. Would agree for him. Kasi when I first met him, well, Rex can vouch for the fact that for years I parked in his office. Sometimes I'm just ignored. He had a hearing problem already by the time I met him. So may ara siyang hearing aid. Okay? And whenever he did not want to talk to me, he would turn it off. Ay, ginasustainer ko lang. Okay? Why? Because in the first place, he was an unwilling subject. When I first met him and I told him, I will write about you. I will make you famous. He was not impressed. He was not impressed because he told me, kahibalo ka nga ang hiligay nun, mas nuanced, mas expressive sang sa Pilipino. And I said, yes, is it true? Oo. Pila ka tinaga sa Pilipino mag-express sang buy. Siling ko isa lang, bili. Kahibalo ka nga sa hiligay nun, there are no less than 25. Kasi nga, abi, sugiri ako. Hindi ko kabalo. Nag-flank out ako. So he was not impressed. And then he said, hindi ka mahuya? Kamahuya? You call yourself a student of Philippine literature from Diliman, from UP Diliman? Hindi ka kabaloy mo lingwahe? And sila niya, wala ka kahibalo nga ang hiligay nun, language of the master. Ara ina siya sa Sanskrit. Siya sa maragtas ni Monteclaro, Pedro Monteclaro. Kabasa ka maragtas? Ano na iya? Nag-flank naman ako second time. Di wala nang gid siya. Why gid siya gana mag-work with me? Because in the first place, I did not know my language. I did not know my literature. And I think he struck at the very heart of what was wrong with my education. Because as I was saying, as I answered somebody who asked a question earlier, nga aman ko yan napadpad ako yan sa amuni nga klase sang studies. Because I said I had a crisis in my professional career. There was a time in my life, gatudlo ko, pero wala ko gapati sa ginhambal ko. Because I could not understand ano man ang relevance ni Shakespeare sa akong mga estudyante nga they would rather what? They would rather demonstrate against the Marcos administration. Ano man ay abing relevance niya? So siling ko sa akon nga mentor, there is something wrong with my education. Sinya nga siling ko daw kaulibagon sa akong education. Kay wala kagabasa kay Constantino. Amo na natawag miseducation of the Filipino. And so, it was just my luck that the person I chose to be the subject of my dissertation was a person who was very nationalistic, very convinced that we had a culture of our own and it is superior to the culture of our colonizers. That is the reason why one of the books, or three of the books that he has written is about Muslim culture. Amurokpok, Margo sa Tubig, and Maratabat. Maratabat is actually I think it is a term in the Maranao, which means amor propio. The Spanish equivalent for amor the Spanish equivalent of Maratabat is amor propio. Okay. Because the Muslims have a very great pride in their own culture, and when that pride is hurt, they will go to such lengths to redress it. And that is essentially the reason behind this particular novel. So, in short, it was a complete meeting Muzones was a complete education for me because I kind of turned 180 degrees in my education, which had been colonial all this time, English literature, American literature, and other literature of other Western countries. And after I met him, nahuya ko sa lawas ko. I started studying my own culture and my own literature. And that was why I feel very blessed that I have been able to sustain the study of Muzones for 32 years because I keep learning new things about my own language and culture by the study of his novels. 61 novels is no mean thing to finish, especially if you are the kind of writer Muzones was, who actually raised the standard of the serial novel. Nga sing una, nobody takes seriously these things. Hikayan na ang serial novel nga nagagwa sa yuhom o sa hiligay nun. Why? Because they are not well written. But what he did was he raised the standard of these novels by introducing all kinds of innovations because he was very wide reader. He was an omnivorous reader. So what he did was what he learned about Western literature, gi-introduce niya sa Hiligaynon literature. And in so doing, raised the standard of Hiligaynon literature. We owe him that. And that is the reason why I started my lecture this morning by congratulating CPU. And because of the fact that when Muzones won, I sent feelers to the Iloilo city government about honoring the writer. Why? Talagsa lang na ang lugar nga may ara nga national artist. If you take a study of how national artists are produced, as I told you, Jovita Puentes, 1973. Then, J. Elizalde Navarro, 1999. Then, Ramon Muzones, 2019. Tulo ka ang time interval in between. Hindi hapus maging national artist. I should know. I did all the research and I did all the dirty work for the nomination. The defense, the writing, the documentation, etc. I shopped for an organization that would nominate him. Kahit wala man ko diya masyado kilala sa Iloilo. Since I was director and curator of Negros Museum. The first time it opened, I twisted the arm of Negros Museum to nominate him. I told them, I begged them, I said, I will do all the dirty work, the documentation, the presentation, the defense, etc. All you have to do is sign the dotted line. I will do everything. And that's what they did. And that is why we have a national artist in literature now for Iloilo, who I hope will honor him after the election is over. Because I understand today, everybody is so preoccupied with the election, they cannot think of anything else. You know Muzones? He knew that. He said, there are people who are dentists, doctors, engineers, etc. But the real profession is politics. And they cannot do anything else but eat, drink, dream politics. Because the Filipino is crazy about politics. This is in Malala nga Gutom. Which is the book I am translating now. Thank you.
Hindi na lang ko mag-istorya politika. One thing I remember, no, this may be a joke, no. Before ko na yung magsulod sa office ni Atty. Muzones ang una, batian mo na, pero magsulod ka na to, duwa lang likatudlo. Mga talents nila nga. The same is true with my boss, no, si Gobernador Norada. Duha lang gali ka tudlo ang pero kung pamatian mo sagwa. And they type directly ang binisaya. Bala ko ni masib daso na nga Sabado i-print mo. So kuway na editing, diri-diritso na sila magsulat. So I don't know if some Centralians can still do that. Anyway, assignment sa mga younger set, nga kapamati, try to ask your lolo or lola kung anong kanta ni Jovita Fuentes, no? Kaya ginay, hugal ni ma'am. Pakantahon niyo si lolo niyo o kung si lola niyo. I believe they know, no? Nga ngaging kanta ina ni ni Ubita Fuentes, ang ay kalisod, kay ginpromisahan siya sang isa ka pinakamaambong nga ulitao sa kapis, no, in the person of Manuel Rojas, no. Only nga to be ano panawag sina jilted in exchange for Doña Judy Araneta. You see? At Trinidad, I'm sorry. That's it. I'm sorry. not Judy. It's Trinidad, no? Who is based in Manila. Another trivia, this Trinidad was also jilted sweetheart of Manuel Quezon. Ma'am knows. Pakantahon nyo karon si lolo nyo kag si lula nyo. Kung magibi si lolo nyo kung si lula, pabayi ilang. Anyway, levity aside, may I now call on the proud son, Attorney Rex Muzones, to give us the recollections of his father. Recollections about his father, I'm sorry.
A pleasant good afternoon. So it's now obvious that Dr. Cecilia knows more about my father than me. I would like to thank very much Central Philippine University, its president, Dr. Teodoro Robles, president of CPO Alumni Association, Engineer Sagani Albuena, of course, the lawyer Bidonas, Baron Lubel, the trustee, and Zacarias, the Dean of the College of Law, and Reverend, who said the welcome address, and Engineer Idemne, and Engineer Baldago of the CPO, Balogo of the CPO alumni, and of course my friend, the retired former fiscal, Jeremy Bionat. Thank you very much for this testimonial and your recognition and appreciation for the one of your alumni, Ramon Muzones. He was awarded in 2018 the most aspired after and coveted award title aspired for by artists, writers, poets, or along that medium. And our family thank you very much for your care and concern. As a matter of fact, this is the first institution that offered such an honor to us, and we are touched very much. I too am an alumni of CPU. I may be talking, this is recollection. And my father, had he been alive, would be 106 years old today. I was born on April 9, 1944. I'm pushing 75. So please forgive me if I forget to recollect some things or my recollection is inaccurate. But I studied here in 1950. I was 6 years old, grade 1 to grade 5, 1955. But I remember the principal in elementary department was Mrs. George. In high school, Mrs. Rojas. The president, it was CPC then, Central Philippine College. Dean Amos Oliver Larsen. If I remember, Nashansen Norico also took up law here because they became lawyers with Ramon Muzones in 1953. Now, during their school days, they were best friends with Rex Drilon. So the three of them were nearly expelled by CPO for being a bad influence to the students because they were drinking there and making loud noises at the Pautraw store. Pautraw store. But Rex Dillon turned out to be the first Filipino president of CPU. Now, our house is situated there at the last gate of CPU. It, it was refurbished after the war by RFC, Rehabilitation Finance Corporation, the precursor of DBP, from the Japanese reparations. A neighbors there, I don't know if they're Centralians, Fiscal Alfred Ellenberger. Then Atty. Nick Baban, the wife was also a teacher. Nasan sino request wife was a teacher here, the Gadongs. Then my neighbor was a former Miss Philippines placer, Louis Bell Aurelio. Oh, then the beautiful Gladys Baban, Roy Baban, who was a United Nations financial analyst. Then you have Otoniel Gonzaga, a famous Philippine tenor. Then, of course, Atty. Inoas, who married into the Pragatas. Mr. Pragata was my trainer in declamation during the time. Then you have, of course, Atty. Juanito Acanto. And these are many distinguished Centralians. Now, we stayed for quite a time here in CPU. It is not as great as it is and as is impressive. It was a primitive, prehistoric during that time. Now, my grandmother, this is one story Dr. Cecile does not know. My grandmother, who comes from Kabangkalan, Negros. Negros is known as Buglas during the old days. And we in Haro are known as Salugnons. Mga salog ta. She was the illegitimate elder sister of Arsenio Lacson, who became the mayor of Manila. She had two children, my mother, Adelaida, and Lilia, who was also studying here at CPU. She met Ruben Trinidad, a Tagalog, who was studying in CPU. He became one of the less than 10 actuarians in the Philippines. He worked at the United States Joint Tax Commission, the precursor of the National Census. So he became quite an expert UP professor too. Then when my grandmother got widowed, the family name was De La Cruz. So my name is Rex De La Cruz. My uncle was Tony Emilio De La Cruz, the sidekick of Arisbe during the martial law days. Then she was a jeweler and she met her second husband, Oscar Lopez Saina. But since the Lopezes were on the high during the time, he dropped the Haina and he became Oscar Lopez. The children, one of which is Dr. Margarita Canaan Lopez, the director of St. Paul's Hospital. And they were related to the Vanessas. You have the Dr. Rene Vanessa. And some of them studied also here at Central Philippine University. My aunt, Margarita Canaan, Margarita Lopez, married Canaan of aristocrat. And my father met my mother during the war. He was the editor of Shinbun, the Japanese newspaper during the Japanese occupation. So probably he wrote about who got married, who gave birth, who died, or something like that, that the Hudobo will not edit too much with their samurai. Now, My mother was the secretary of Dr. Karam, who was appointed as the governor during the Japanese occupation. America and the Philippines, they were at war. But Dr. Karam was Lebanese. The Karaans were also Lebanese. So the Japanese knew about it and he was appointed the governor. Now, my mother was the secretary. Ramon Muzones was the interpreter because he was already adept in Ilonggo. So if they have a suspect guerrilla there, after torturing him, they have to go to Dr. Karam to secure a certification that he is not a guerrilla. So Ramon Muzones will ask the suspect in Ilonggo, then they will talk. There is a Japanese interpreter will translate it to Nipongo, then Nipongo back and forth until the interrogator is satisfied that it's not a guerrilla. Then it will be certified by Dr. Karam, so they saved some lives. So my father became sort of a James Bond. It was written in the works of Attorney Resurrection Salvilla that since he was the editor of Sinbon, he smuggled Sinbon there to the people in the mountains. And together with Jesus O. Gramos, who was a newspaperman, they smuggled newsprint and ink to the guerrillas because they have their own newspaper there. Now, during that time, it was a good thing if you were ugly during the Japanese occupation. Because if you are ugly, the Japanese will not arrest you. But if you are beautiful and good looking, you have to evacuate to the mountains because they think you are American. So this is the only time where it's an asset to be ugly. And well, after the war, I've been talked that about my grandparents. Well, let us go back. My on the father's side, my grandparents came from Yagao, mostly laborers, carpenters, some overseas worker, some hold-uppers. On the side of my mother, Larupay, she came from Lambunao. Okay, Lambunao. Farmers, teachers, some cattle rustler, and first-class ticket. You know why people in Lambunao are referred to as first-class ticket? It is this, because Congressman Ladrido brought along to Manila his illiterate bodyguards. So they were riding in a boat. While riding in a boat, he washed his face from the toilet bowl. So when the mess boy called his attention, "Nano ka? First class ticket, ja?" So that's why people from Lambunao greet each other like first class ticket. My grandfather was an urban rhinestone cowboy. In Visayan, that means to say he was a cochero. My grandmother became blind at an early age because of glaucoma. Because during the time, there was no cure for glaucoma. And Dr. Jose Rizal did not visit Lambunao to cure her. At any rate, they had 10 children. Ramon Muzones was the eldest, and they have only one remaining survivor, Santiago Muzones Jr. Somehow they separated to their uncertain fates. Two became lawyers. My father, Angel Muzones, he was a director in census statistics, which was absorbed by the Department of Finance. an anchor with NISA, National Intelligence Service, which is now the NBI. And after the war, a lot of notary publics made money because a lot of people made affidavits that they were veterans. And now, if you are a veteran and there is a confirmation from American records, you get a bigger amount of money, maybe 15,000 US. But if you are a veteran in Philippine records, maybe you get 6,000 only. Because they don't believe our records. It is signed by a leader who has long died. Like the record of President Marcos, who fought in battles that were never there. So, my two uncles became American citizens because they were veterans. During the time of Clinton, they were granted American citizenship. And Ramon Muzones was asked, why did you not apply? Your exploits were enough to make you a veteran. So being suplado, well, he's a writer, plasugid. Because sugilambo ngayon niya sulat mo, plasugid. Well, he said, why should I be paid for defending my country? Nax, no? So he did not get any veterans. Veterans privilege. Artists, poets are a different kind of people. They're different from the ordinary. They have a bit of arrogance because they feel that they are more than the average. And they have a sort of godlike quality. By this godlike quality, I mean that the writer creates the character himself. He gives life to the character. He can do what he wants with the character. So he gives you a beautiful, gorgeous, sexy heroine. But she has the manners of a cool girl. She will drop her panties at the sound of the zipper. Now he makes the hero strong, handsome, but then he has bad teeth, bad breath, and BO. In other words, this is what makes them godlike. He could do what he wants with the plot and the character. I remember the time, nagsugay naman ko ako, no? I remember the time in the DYRI, we had two programs. One was political with Rodeng Ganson, Tiangge ni Takay, the players there, and one drama. The players there were former RTC Judge Godofredo Kim Seng, former City Councilor Dorico Dadibas, Ruben Doron, and some beat players. Now, I accompanied him. They have this big tape recorder. And then after recording one scene, Ramon Muzones was the scriptwriter. They will go to the Central Market and they will drink there. I buy their cigarettes, Chesterfield, then beer. He was paid the princely sum of 30 pesos since he was the scriptwriter. The beat players there are maybe 8 pesos, 10 pesos. So I buy them one case of beer, 7 pesos, 10 centavos. Then they will eat princely. 1 kilo of lechon cost 30 centavos. 1 kilo of grapes, uvas, 1 peso. So they were eating like kings. Now, when they were drunk already, one of his beat player, his kumpare Buraloy, disagreed with him. So Ramon Muzones said, sagad ka bato sa akon, ako ang author. Ako naghatag si imo kabuhi. Well, so they left but without patching up the difference. The next week, he had no speaking parts. Because it turned out that he was drowned in the river. So the next day, his kumare went to the house, crying, bringing the daughter. Nga pare, pasensya lang to si pare mo man, kay nahubog lang to, yung yada mo, huwag nung bakal gatas ho. Naman torpeg mo nga bana, mabato sa akon. He returned there and asked forgiveness. Then they sent me out again to buy a few bottles of beer. They were friends already. They said, Diyos, problema pa rin nga. Pinatay ta na ka. Nalumos ka na sa suba. Nyati, buyon mo ko eh. Ikaw man yung author. Well, the next week, Bulaloy turned out to be alive. He was carried by the flood waters and was found there by a fair damsel who brought him back to life, and they fell in love. But the problem is, he had a wife and kids. But then that's another story. I accompanied, my father and I were like brothers. There are many stories to tell about him. I accompanied him with Choradeng Norada, Abi Gonzalez, Ibepanyo Soles, and they used to stay there at the old Liwayway Publication House at Mabini. So, in order to maintain the purity of the native tongue, they have a contest. Whenever they talk, they should talk with pure Ilonggo. Anyone found speaking with a mixture of Spanish, Chinese, English is fined 1 peso. That 1 peso is put in a pot, and when it reaches 7 pesos, I buy 1 case of beer. So, Choradeng Norada talked to Ramon Muzones and said, balo ka mabudlay ang maghambal sing puro kung tunay man nga kaugalingon nga pulong. Nya, suod kong abyan mananabang Ramon Muzones, ginakalipay ko kung makatambong ka sa sinalusalo na kon sa miyagaw. Sabat man si Ramon Muzones, salamat apang nahadlok ako sa amurokpok. Ano inang amurokpok? Ang amurokpok ya mapintas nga sapat na. Makasimot na kung may unod imo bulsa. Kung may unod imo bulsa, dagito niya ka, ikisik-kisik sa kalangitan, ikog bilin. Tinagabot si Choradeng kang naghatag siya kwarta, niya pare, ari kalimaan, niya salamat, hindi na ko bagdagiton ka amurokpok. And Ramon Muzones does not talk straight. He talks godlike in parables. My nickname is Boy. He will not tell me, Boy, may katakada. No, he talks to me in parables. He told me, Boy, nagatagiti ang init, natingala ko. Nagtanaw ko, way ko landong. Balok ka ang tao, way landong, way unod iya bulsa. Tigabot man ko 20 pesos, kari na, niya may landong na. So it became a password among us friends. Bare may landong daw, way di landong sumuga. Hindi ka mag-upod sa tao nga may landong. And they were proclamation speakers. But when they talk to you with each other, since they are all good writers, they have some funny limericks or some jokes, limericks. Like pis-pis nga pakpakan, nagalupad sa kalangitan. Ing put-put-put, ang inyo ray na pala utot. O kung na piri ko nga pikoy, lumba-lumba, ubyok-ubyok sa sanga, pastilan nga pikoy, buot mga sawa, way watot, way kwarta. By God, kada. So I enjoy doing this while under the influence. And you know something, I brought along this bahandi, which is a luckily a collection of some writings by good writers to some Centralians. And I discovered that Sumakwelan, which was mentioned by Dr. Cecile, was founded here in CPU. Let me read. Isa ka adlaw sang tuig 1948, ang mga katapo manunulat kag pila ka umalamot sang kasanag nagtililipon sa hulot sa lapuanan sang Central Philippine University sa Haro, dakban mo sang Iloilo. Sa hando mga pasanyugon ang namatan nga pulong. Well, there it is. Ramon Muzones, Conrado Norada, Remigio Heredia, Emilio Saldivar, Policarpio Quanico, Santiago Mulato, Julian Decrepito Urbano Niken, Nicolas Baban, Donato Flor de Lisa, and Lino Moles. And there are many Centralians here in the past presidency of Sumakwelan, which became the Guild of Ilonggo Writers, still existing up to today. Now, to show you the talent of other gifted writers, one of which is Vice Governor Demi Sonsa. Their usual duties, aside from legislative, is to act as coronation speakers. So I have here a proclamation speech of Vice Governor Demi Sonsa when he proclaimed the Hara Sheila Marie of New Lucena sometime in January 24, 1993. He proclaimed her in 3 languages, Spanish, Ilocano, and English. This is what he said. Tuguti ninyo gamiton ko kinat sila, kaman may sabid kalamay ini nga dila. Los ceros con tus ojos, con cintilar de estrella, tus labios son rojos, con sonrisa dulcesima. Masidlak mong mga mata, kay idlak daw bituon, ang bibig mong mapula, may marimis ngayuhom. Kung magyom gani ikaw, ang dimpul mo nagalutaw, subong sang yupok sa panit, sang mansanas nga manamit. Yeah. Grabe, no? Perhaps your lips were in the mind of the poet when he opined, just leave a kiss upon the cup, and I shall not ask for wine. Maybe whiskey. And there are so many interesting writings here. This one is by Policarpio Quanico. This is about woman yesterday and now. Ang babae kahapon o konsadto, kag ang babae karon. Now, he said, konsadto ang mga babae mahipid kag ang bungan, labigid ang karon. Sa kaanyag, di matupungan. Ang babae sadto, kung ang nawong daw sa kinuso, Mabuka lang ang espeho, wala gid sang mahimo. Ang babae karon bisan ang nawong malaway, sa puni kag panapot ang lalaki nagalaway. Now this one is about a woman when they get about to get married. Ang babae sadto kung tion na magpangasawa, may luyag kag wala si tatay among unahon. Bisan ang lalaki sungi kung may karbaw kag duta, wala sing mahimo sinday kundi magpaluha. So this is a rather wide spectrum of what our Ilonggo writers, what nonsense they're thinking about. And lastly, maybe you're getting hungry again. Lastly, I will read to you a short poem of Ramon Muzones. It's Kuting-Kuting sang Kudyapi. Kuting-Kuting is drum. Kudyapi is an old musical instrument. Okay? It's like between man and woman also. Kung ang bana mapintas, daw ayam nga mantas. Kada sala mo hampas, mapatay ka sa ugtas. Bisan ikaw, santita, adlaw-adlaw kasimba. Anon sang bindita, kung ang dalo, kaburata. Kaburata, is steel, piece of steel wrapped in rope. It's known as blackjack. So when you hit your wife with that, she'll come to her senses. Sadtong una anay, malulo kamo, daw punay. Samtang nagadugay, nagapait ang kalamay. Kung ang sawa may isog, daw maninina nga manog. Ti maninina is a python, boa constrictor. Ang bana, ginapurpog, tubtob siya malupog. Bangod kay sinunoy, lalaki apang tutoy. Pulos lang ngoy-ngoy, ang bato niya taghoy. Nasundan sa pasipala, ginalubid, ginadubla, ginagurinat sa talinga, gatyabaw daw baka. This refers to under desire husband like me. Kung ang magkatipan lunsay nga sinyalan, magamong puloyan, nagakabasag ang pinggan. Waising nagapaumod, kay mabakod ang tuhod, lunsay masighudhod, daw musika kagahod. Pulos lang bukol, ang goya sa damukol, anong sang inumol, sige man sing taghol. That means to say no matter how many bukol you give your wife, your mouth is still talking. So these are some recollections of my father. And I hope I entertained you, but I could talk longer under the influence, But in the overall, I enjoyed your company and thank you very much for your care and concern. I have decided to donate the medallion of Ramon Muzones to Central Philippine University. And if you have the time, drop by the office. I have some additional scrapbooks there, original, some of his other memorabilia. Just give him an honored place because he learned how to write nonsense from your school anyway. So thank you very much.
We now proceed to the presentation of the posthumous citation to the late Attorney Ramon Muzones. So may I request Attorney Rex Muzones as well as his wife to come here in front. And may I also request Attorney Joshua Alim to represent Engineer Isagani Halbuena. Then Dr. Gico to represent Dr. Teodoro Robles. Then Attorney Von Lobel Bidona and Attorney Zacarias Bidona in behalf of the CPO College of Law to present said award. Sir? Ma'am? May I request the members of the CPU Board of Trustees as well as and CPU AAI to please join us and serve as witnesses to the presentation. I'm sorry. For the information of everybody, Attorney Alim is our Vice President sa CPU Alumni Association. Tintin.
Allow me to read the text of the citation. Central Philippine University Alumni Association Incorporated. Know all people by these presents Ramon Larupay Muzones, born March 20. Okay. Is presented this posthumous CPU Alumnus Achiever Award in recognition of his exemplary achievements as Hiligaynon poet, essayist, short story writer, critic, grammarian, editor, lexicographer, and novelist, and his invaluable contributions to Philippine literature. Attorney Muzones is credited with initiating several firsts in Hiligaynon narrative tradition, among them the first Roman Aklef, Maambong nga Sapat, or Magnificent Brute in 1948, the novel of humor, Si Tamblot, 1946, and the first political satire, Tamblot Candidato Man. Tamblot is also a candidate in 1949. A champion of the Hiligaynon language, he authored a Hiligaynon dictionary and grammar to combat the youth's growing post-war preference for the English language, and co-founded the Gakud ni Sumakwel, or Knights of Sumakwel, or now known as Sumakwelan, the oldest and largest surviving society of Ilonggo writers in the Visayas, Mindanao, and Luzon, of which he was the president from 1948 to 1950. Acknowledged by his contemporaries as one of the three leading Hiligaynon novelists, he shared with them the honorific title Hari Sang Sugilambong, or King of the Hiligaynon novel. He held the longest track record in the longest track record in the genre, having authored 61 novels from 1938 to 1992. In addition to short stories, essays, and poems that he also wrote, he was editor of Hiligaynon and Ihum, leading Ilonggo magazines. He was conferred the Gawad Pambansang Alagad ni Balagtas by the Union ng mga Manunulat sa Pilipinas in 1988, the Gawad CCP para sa Sining by the Cultural Center of the Philippines in 1989, and posthumously the Gawad Bonifacio sa Panitikan Centennial Award by the National Commission for Culture and the Arts in 1977. On October 24, 2018, Attorney Ramon Muzones was conferred the Order of the National Artist for Literature, or Orden ng Pambansang Alagad ng Sining, posthumously by the President of the Republic of the Philippines. The Order of National Artists is the highest national recognition given to Filipino individuals who have made significant contributions to the development of Philippine arts. Attorney Muzones received his Bachelor of Laws degree from Central Philippine University in 1952. For accomplishments worthy of praise and emulation, Ramon Muzones deserves the honor and recognition as a CPU Alumnus Achiever. Done in Iloilo City, Philippines, during the CPU Alumni Association Incorporated Testimonial Banquet in his honor, the 26th day of February in the year of our Lord, 2019. Signed, Esa Rose Romorate, CPU AAI Trustee and Chairperson of Awards and Recognition Committee, Reverend Francis Neil G. Halandoon, CPU AAI Corporate Secretary, Engineer Isagani Halbuena, CPU AAI President, and Teodoro C. Robles, PhD, President, Central Philippine University.
Sorry. May I request Attorney Muzones to remain in front for a short response. I emphasize short. Huh?
Okay, thank you very much. I will just like to emphasize that I'm donating the award of my father to Central Philippine University. Just find an honored place for it, as befits a product of this great learning institution who was able to produce a national artist on literature. The most singular thing is because it was done in the vernacular. He wrote in the native tongue, as was pointed out by Dr. Cecil Nava. And he has come a long way, and the award should rest with Central Philippine University, from whence he earned his law degree. Thank you very much.
May I request Attorney Rex to please post there sa award mismo. And then for, si ma'am pa ma'am, kag si ma'am Cecil. Duwa sila. Okay. For posterity's sake. There. Hold on first, sir. May I request Dr. Gico and Attorney Von, please, to receive the medallion from the family of the late Attorney Ramon Muzones. Sino pa? Sir, tawagin to Rex. Careful, careful.
Ang original ng inatan ni Presidente Digong.
May I also request Attorney Sac Bidona to join? Because there is a possibility that the award might be reposited at the College of Law. Oo, tapos i-open. May I also request Dr. Pulido, sir? It's all right? Okay.
Yes, I will. Yes, yes. Yes, and I would like to. Thank you. The word Camacho, de la banda Camacho. Yes. I think so. The world needs you. Be alive, be alive.
Okay, thank you. Announcement, no? There are still last two copies. I'm sorry. Ay, oh. Yeah, oh. Before we do that, may I request Attorney Bon Bidona to say a few words.
Well, on behalf of the Board of Trustees excuse me, of Central Philippine University, we are honored to be a recipient of this prestigious award coming from the family of the late Attorney Ramon Muzones. Thank you very much, Nong Rex. And since this is given, this will be in the form of donation by the family to Central Philippine University, and there should be a formal acceptance of this donation. And we'll just convey to the family probably another important event to honor the family for being generous to Central Philippine University by way of donating this very important award to them. And probably the in charge of the library here will direct the management of this library to find a very conspicuous place where this prestigious award will have to be displayed so that this can be appreciated by the younger generations and future graduates of Central Philippine University. We'll just request again Professor Marati later to coordinate with the family about the possibility of having a formal turnover of this very important award given to the family and having been turned over to Central Philippine University. Thank you very much, Manong Rex.
Excuse me. Last request. May I request again the members of the CPO Corporation and the CPO Alumni Association Incorporated to join us in the picture taking. Maybe one of us will be the next national artist, no? So may I request Attorney Rex and Ma'am Gloria, and then din si Ma'am Dr. Cecil, and the rest of the CPO Corporation and CPO Alumni Association, please. Oh, announcement, there are still two books, History and Society. Okay. I'm sorry, if it is officer of the Alumni Association, it's 600. Huh? It's only 450. May I request everyone to please stand, and you either choose to face Engineer Bettini Idimni, or you choose the national, no, the as a screen because colors and CPU. May I request everybody to please stand.
Sige, ang bahuntaang Central may Central. Aton nga alma mater song.
Okay, sige.
Our praise will sing to you day after day. We'll keep thine honor dear, save thee from every fear. Thy name we will revere when far away. And from my central loved honored be thy name, and everywhere the same, through north and south. May thou forever stand, renowned in every land, supreme in heart and hand. We love thee best.
So thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming. Sorry. May we request Engineer Ray Balogo to give us the closing prayer.
Magapangamuyo kita. Amon makagahom nga Dios tagtugwas ang tanan bisan pa sa sining nga kalibutan ang tagsatag sa namang kabuhi. Kami nagahatag sang mataas nga pagpasalamat kag pagdayaw sa imo Ginoo tungod sining bag-o lang natapos nga pagpasidungog sa amon utod Ramon Muzones. Kabay Ginoo, kami nagapasalamat man sa pinaagi sa kay Dr. Cecilia Nava nga nagdalaman sang kaalam agod amon lubos nga mahangpan ang iyang kabuhi. Kabay ang iyang kabuhi maging inspirasyon namon sa tagsatagsa namon nga man ka dalan sang amon pagpangabuhi nga sa diin kami maghanduman sang mataas nga pagpasidungog. Optan mo kami Ginoo sa siningation sa amon paghalin sa sininga duog, kabay mo pagpakamaayo magaupod sa amon labi na gid sa panimalay Muzones. Inigid amon ginapasalamatan pinaagi sa imong ngalan si Ginoong Hesus nga amon manluluwas. Amen.
So thank you everyone. Thank you for coming. Hope to see you again during the presentation of the next National Artist Award.